Now, they're an award-winning band with more than a decade of success behind them, and now FIDA are using their high profile to help raise money for the relief effort in Japan.
And two of the band's members, Grant Nicholas and Taka Hirose, have close ties to the country. They've released a new single for the British Red Cross appeal, and we're going to find out more about that in a moment when we speak to them. First, though, let's have a quick look and listen to the single side by side. Well, it's moving, isn't it, watching those pictures again. And Grant and Taka join us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Now, the band, and you too, have very strong connections to Japan. I mean, Taka, obviously you're Japanese.
Yes.
Just tell us about your communications with people back home, what you feel about the fact that your country's, your original country has suffered this.
Well, luckily my family lives quite away from where it happened, but this tsunami thing shocked everyone in Japan. You know, most of people back to normal life, but they're still, you know, wondering might come back. But same times they try to get all these positive things out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Grant, your connection is
yeah,
your
my
wife
is Japanese, yes.
Okay.
I have two kids as well, you know, half Japanese, sort of. And actually, you know, we were on tour in a place called Sendai, which is where there was obviously loads of damage.
Not at the time?
No, this was last year, so
okay.
it was quite, you know, to see it, you know, obviously on the news and see all the kind of damage, it was quite shocking.
So that's interesting. So a year ago, you were actually on tour in Sendai?
We were on tour, yeah, in Japan. We went all, you know, all over Japan.
So you will have known people affected by what happened?
Well, I mean, you know some people, more than me, but, you know, friends and, you know, obviously family out there as well, but fortunately, you know, our friends obviously weren't hurt at all.
So presumably the strong connections meant that you thought, what can we do in order to help? Because everybody wants to help in their own way. What did you go about doing? Well,
we've got a single called Side by Side, which is basically, you can download it through the FIDA website or from iTunes.
Was this something you wrote specifically, or is something you were going to release anyway?
It was a song we felt kind of lyrically that was fitting for this. It was a song that was probably going to be on our next album. We aren't sure now if we're going to use it on the next album. We might just keep it for this. But it just felt kind of lyrically, you know, the chorus, you know, was quite fitting for the chorus.
What are the words? And
well, have you heard the song?
Well, I've just played some of it.
Take away the pain is like a line in the chorus, which I think is quite fitting for the whole, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, we didn't want to sit down and kind of write a song. You know, we've been on tour, so we haven't had time to you know, to sit down and actually write a song for it. But we felt this was the right choice.
Yeah, we needed to do something.
So you contacted the Red Cross, did you, and said we have?
Yes, and I mean, basically all the money from this will be going towards the Red Cross Japan Tsunami appeal.
And how much money do you think you can raise from something like this?
That's the hard bit, really. It's very difficult to get people to, you know, to spend money in this day and age, but we're just trying to help in any way we can, you know, through our music.
Yeah, any penny help because people who are suffering.
It's 79 pence, you know, to download it. It isn't a lot of money. I mean, you know, like a bar of chocolate costs 60 pence. So, I mean, but it's hard getting people to help and to get behind it.
Let's talk a little bit about FIDA and sort of what you've been doing, because you've been around quite a long time now.
We have been, yes.
I'm going to avoid that word veterans, because that's clearly not appropriate yet.
When did you get together?
We started, was it about 92? So I met Taka. So we've been around for quite a while. We've made, this will be our 8th album. So we have been around.
And in terms of work now, you're still producing albums? And...
Oh, yes. We've got a new album coming out soon. We've just come back off a tour. We've been in Europe. And before that, we were in Australia. Before that, South Africa. And, you know, we've been all over, really. And we're going...
We've got a little retrospective for you.
OK.
Shall we have a quick look? Here we go.
But it's just the way I'm feeling. Yeah, yeah. She's my heaven. She's a spark. Yeah, yeah. Feels like heaven. So I'll be I think we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna save it, yeah. So don't you try and
Often when we look back at these images, we end up talking about hair. You've changed
a few different hairstyles there, isn't there? Yeah, mind you. You've changed a bit too.
A lot.
Is it funny looking back at that stuff?
It is,
I don't know what date would that be.
It's quite embarrassing at times.
What sort of date would that have been? Was that mid-80s or maybe a bit later?
Maybe 10 years ago or more.
Yeah.
Right. 90s.
Yeah. 90s.
Yeah. You weren't around in the 80s, were you? Lots of things have changed. We lost Top of the Pops.
Yeah, and that's gone. It's a shame.
And you were talking about downloading, you know, people downloading singles and albums now. That's kind of a loss to some bands, isn't it?
It is really. I mean, it's a shame. You know, we're still from the old generation where we like to buy CDs, but I mean, kids now, it just seems to be more, you know, the whole download market is, you know, is massive, especially, you know, the single market. It's, I mean, you know, the sales now to actually get in the top 10 is, you know, is quite high, whereas a few years ago it was probably like a few thousand.
Yeah. Do you remember 25 years ago buying Happy Hour by the House Martins?
Happy Hour, I do remember the House Martins actually very well.
Yeah, because Paul Heaton's about to come in.
Oh, right, yeah.
We can't believe it's a quarter of a century since that single was released.
Lovely to see you here this morning. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for
Good luck
having
with
us.
the single.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, Feeder singles side by side, available for download now. All profits going to the British Red Cross. Japan's Tsunami appeal.